Black Sabbath is in fact a Requiem stand, and you'll be getting the proof in this video. Whether Black Sabbath has reached the Requiem state of evolution is one of the most mysterious and enticing topics surrounding JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, one that has generated extensive and interesting discussions. Nonetheless, nothing concrete has been written in stone. It's time to change that. So if you are still skeptical to believe that Black Sabbath is a Requiem stand, well, don't you dare take my word with a grain of salt, cause I'm spitting facts here. Now, in all seriousness, I'm inclined to change your mind with solid and legit arguments that will most certainly corroborate the veracity of this claim. Something ridiculously obvious proves that Black Sabbath is in fact a Requiem stand, and I'll review that at the end of the video, so I would strongly suggest that you watch this video all the way to the end. But if at the end you're still not convinced, be sure to let me know in the comments down below if what I'm saying is baloney. And for the 97% who are still not subscribed to my channel, let me humbly request that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's simple, and it helps the hell out of my work here on YouTube. Thank you very much. Shall we begin now? Contextualizing, Black Sabbath is an automatic stand that follows simple and straightforward present commands. It's known for its ranged power, lack of damage transfer to the extent Popo didn't even realize Giorno had beat Black Sabbath, and direct attack style. Is a formidable opponent in the shadows, but remains vulnerable in the sun. However, even if defeated, Black Sabbath can be recalled for unknown reasons. Black Sabbath is associated with Popo's test and his lighter. If someone took a lighter from him, extinguished it, then relit it, Black Sabbath would appear from the shadows and attack all witnesses. It will then automatically attempt to pierce the souls of those present with the arrow in its mouth, to awaken a possible stand, even if they already have one. Popo used this ability to weed out recruits, leaving only those with stands. Black Sabbath's main ability is to draw power from the shadows. The stand is very strong in the shade. Its strength can be increased, at least to the point where it can overwhelm good experience, as well as move its hands under the extreme weight of Echo's 3 freeze. Also, Black Sabbath can hide in shadows. It can sink into shadows like water, and as long as the shadows are connected, he can move from one point to another almost instantaneously, allowing it to be easily repositioned mid-battle. He can even use them as vehicles, using the shadow of birds to move through sunlit spaces and hide in the shade of solitary trees. Now, the whole concept of Requiem was introduced in the same part where Black Sabbath appears. Anyways, the Requiem stage of a stand is what comes out of a second puncture from a stand arrow, like when Polnareff had been forced to pierce Silver Chariot so he wouldn't lose the arrow to Diavolo. The condition for obtaining a Requiem is entirely dependent on the user's will. I'll come back to this in a moment, but remember that Black Sabbath, at the very first time it was shown, it was already a Requiem stand, which begs the question, what was the stand and his powers like ordinarily? In Golden Wind episode 3, Popo deforms and squinches his body in such a way that it takes the shape of a perfectly square bed during the encounter with Giorno. Then in a weird scene, he's gnawing at his finger, but they are shown to be just fine a little bit later. Therefore, it's only fitting for Giorno to think it has something to do with Popo's own stand ability. To be more clear, it seems perfectly reasonable to assume that Black Sabbath's power consisted of creating illusions to fool his enemies. Thus, he chooses to eat his fingers and contort into inconceivable shapes. That sparks curiosity to the fact that we may have never seen Popo's true form, but a different persona entirely. Sounds a lot like Diavolo striving so hard to stay anonymous. It makes an awful lot amount of sense, given that to become a capo of Passioni, he's done a bevy of horrid things, making many enemies along the way. But where was this illusion-making power when it confronted Giorno? Well, Black Sabbath was operating automatically, and Popo had no clue his stand was defeated, because he was brimming with confidence in the immense power of Black Sabbath. Because why bother producing illusions when you have at your disposal a stand that can access and steal souls through the shadow of enemies? But how did Popo evolve to Black Sabbath? That's a concept Diavolo himself only learned about at the end of Golden Wind. Everything from this point onward is pure speculation, minus the verdict on the end of the video, so there's a good chance that Popo is one of the oldest members of Passioni, knowing that to actually get recruited into this organization, he's the guy you go to. Both Hin and Diavolo had a pact to join the Mafia, at which point Diavolo pierced Popo with a stand arrow, granting Popo's stand so they could begin their quest for power. As Passioni got bigger and bigger, they had to concoct an efficient way of protecting the stand arrow and ensure that the Passioni recruits were fit for the job. This got Diavolo to ponder upon the possibility of entrusting the arrow to Popo, which would eventually pierce Popo a second time, causing metamorphosis to occur, enabling the stand to select the adequate candidates for a position in the gang, while punishing accordingly the unqualified. What must have been Popo's wish that possibilitated the power of Black Sabbath? No doubt it was something along the lines of, I don't want to have to concern myself with the formalities of the mafia and get as much work done with as little effort as possible. In more ways than one, Black Sabbath is similar to Chariot Requiem, acting independently of the user's will, plus damage done to the stand is not projected in the user. There's also this situation where good experience was pierced by Black Sabbath's arrow and didn't become a Requiem, but I think that was just because Jordan wasn't overcome with a strong desire at that moment. But a common trait of a Requiem stand is the arrow shape etched on the stand's body, like the arrow had been linked to the stand's very existence. And you can look at any other ordinary stand in the series, but you won't find any arrow sculpt in them. That's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to not miss my latest uploads. Oh, and if you like these theory videos, I got one where I question if the world's power is really to stop time, so go check that out. Thanks again for watching this video. See you next time.